Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod Science classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss current affairs of 21st March 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us see a brief introduction regarding the topics. So first topic, it is regarding the spring blues. So this article which is mainly talking about economic recovery. So this article, it is important from our economy point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. And next topic, it is regarding harm in the name of good. So this article which is mainly talking about climate restoration. So especially regarding that climate restoration, we are mainly going for afforestation. So because of this afforestation, we are also having some side effects or impacts. So that is mainly focusing by this article. So this will be important from your environment and ecology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. And next topic, it is regarding introducing African cheetahs into India. So it is mainly talking about reintroduction project of cheetahs. So this article is also important from our environment and ecology. And next topic, it is about the gap between 2 doses of this Covishield. So this topic is important from health. And next topic, it is about drug trafficking. It is one of the important menace that we can see in our society. So this topic, it is important from our society point of view, which mainly comes in the GS paper 2. And next topic, it is about RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. So actually India came out of this Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, and now Japan still it is hoping that India will going to rejoin this RCEP. So this topic is important from international relations. So apart from this topic, there are many articles that are very important, and we are going to see those topics whenever we are displaying Hindu newspaper PDF at last. So now let us try to see today's quote. It is the only secret behind a good day is a good attitude. So when you wake up, so start your day with a good attitude, and that will be a good day, and there will be the maximum performance that you can see on that day when you start with a good attitude. And first article, it is regarding spring blues. So actually this article is just mainly focusing on economic recovery. As I said, this topic, it is important from our economy, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. So if you see central theme, it mainly says that the fresh guard is needed to nurture India's fledgling economic recovery. Okay, so actually you know that due to this COVID-19 pandemic, that mainly affected economy of India, not only India but almost all the countries in the world. And after this COVID-19, so now we are thinking that yes, there is end of this COVID-19, but still there are some recombinant variants are emerging. We discussed about this recombinant variants in our yesterday's lecture, and we also seeing there is Delta plus Omicron variant that is mainly coming into picture, and this new variant which mainly recorded in Israel, right? So here we can say this COVID-19, it is not at all end. And also we are facing one more geopolitical crisis or global crisis, that is Russia-Ukraine issue. So because of this Russia-Ukraine issue, so it is mainly affecting especially some important raw materials from this automobile and as well as electronic sector. So that topic we discussed in our day before yesterday's lecture, like neon, palladium, etc. So now we are trying very much to come back to our economy before this pre-pandemic levels, but due to this Russia-Ukraine issue, so still it is leading to economic crisis further. So now let us try to see what author want to say here. So this week India will complete 2 years since government imposed national-wide lockdown, and because of this national-wide lockdown, that led to block of entry points for infectious COVID-19 virus. And not only in India but also many other countries in the world, they went for lockdowns in this month, actually last 2 years ago. So here the efficiency of that lockdown here is that led to curbing of infection rates, and even that also led to economic crisis in the countries. So if you're talking about this economic cost, So yes, this lockdown which mainly had some massive economic cost for the country, and even RBI also underlined that. RBI, it is Central Bank of India. So RBI mainly underlined that some of that damage to India's GDP is very much permanent. So due to this COVID-19, so whatever the damage that mainly caused to our economy, so some amount of that damage, it is permanent for India's economy, because it is mainly linked to the businesses. So many businesses, they had been shut up, okay, and even laborers, especially this migrant laborers, they started moving towards their home, and consumers, they are increasingly reluctant to increase this demand of goods and services in the market. And in this process of rebuilding of our economy, so there are some tax collections, record tax collections, that mainly suggested in the recent data, right? And even if you're talking about some important cause of concerns in our economy is the personal consumption by the people mainly decreased, because lack of livelihood, because of no proper wages, and even MG Narega, people who are going for this MG Narega works, also the payments are pending. So because of all these things, now there is a personal consumption which is very much low, and even employment driving contact intensive sectors, they are also very much low when we are comparing with that of pre-pandemic levels. So because of this COVID-19 which affected almost all the sectors in our economy, okay, and now and now we are seeing one more issue is Russia-Ukraine conflict. So Russia-Ukraine conflict, that led to or throwing up of some fresh new challenges because of high commodity prices and even high crude oil prices, and it also affected the exports of raw materials of Russia-Ukraine, which were very much essential in automobile and as well as electronic sector. And if you're talking about this COVID-19, it led to high health care cost. So because of this high health care cost, which mainly pushed several middle and even lower income households below poverty line, and even we saw there is a high level of inflation in all the economic sectors. And if you're talking about this Russia-Ukraine crisis, which not only captured gas and as well as crude oil, coal, etc., but even it also affected the prices of fertilizers in the market, wheat, corn, and as well as seed oil. So a section of farmers who are growing crops such as wheat may gain, okay. For example, in other countries which are mainly going for the growing of this wheat, they can occupy the market earlier, this wheat which mainly come from this Russia and Ukraine, but because of this less production of this wheat from this Russia and Ukraine this year, so which are the wheat producing countries, they can occupy this market now. But we can see some negative impact on the inflation of essential items such as food and as well as transport. So that will mainly impact the poor the most, right? So because of this prolonged conflict that we are seeing in this Europe, which could also leads to global economy into recession. So there will be high inflation that could also dampen the growth. This is the one important warning which mainly done by this Moody's. So Moody's, it is credit rating agency. So that mainly warned in the last week. So unless people get more certainty about the pandemic's end game, and whenever the people, they are getting enough money in their hands, then that will be helpful for boosting of consumption, okay, and that will mainly helpful in revival of private investments, okay. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding harm in the name of the good. So actually this article, it is mainly talking about International Day of Forest, okay, International Day of Forest. So every year on this March 21, United Nations General Assembly, which mainly proclaimed to celebrate International Day of Forest. Okay, so this article, which is mainly focusing on biodiversity, that is especially regarding local biodiversity. So this article will be important from your GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So if you're talking about why it is in news, United Nations General Assembly, which mainly proclaimed March 21 as International Day of Forest, and we are celebrating this day especially to raise and to celebrate awareness about the importance of forest. As we know, forest having a good economic services, and it provides ecological services as well. So mainly to make aware about the importance of forest, we are celebrating this day on March 21 as International Day of Forest. So on this day, countries, they are encouraged to organize some activities. We are going for tree planting campaigns. So whenever we are going for this tree planting campaigns, that will help to increase the green cover, and that will help to conserve this biodiversity, and that will help to fight against this climate change as well. So for decades, Indian government has been spending billions of rupees especially to increase green cover through the tree planting. So we went for afforestation methods, and even in the recent time also, central government which mainly announced National Afforestation Eco Development Board, and it is mainly having a budget of rupees 19,000 crore, and they are planning for afforestation project to rejuvenate 13 major rivers. Actually we discussed this topic, right? Okay, so especially we are coming up with some Miyawaki technique. So Miyawaki technique, it is nothing but urban afforestation, especially done in Telangana state, right? So in this way you can add, so which are the programs which are mainly come up by your state. Especially in our state we came up with Harita Haram and even Miyawaki afforestation method. So let me know in your state which are the programs which are come up by your state government to increase this forest cover or tree cover, either in rural areas or either in urban areas. So if we're talking about forest, so forests are not a simple system. We can say there is a complex ecosystem that we can see, because in this forest not only plants, trees, shrubs are present, even it is a home for wide range of flora and as well as fauna. So we will be having different kinds of birds, mammals, reptiles, insects, amphibians, fungi. Even we can take into consideration different kind of microorganisms. Water will be there, soil, environmental conditions, and even other factors. So entire this forest, it is not a simple ecosystem, it is a very complex, and we can say there will be interplay that is seen between flora and as well as fauna. So unless and until whenever we are taking who are the part of this ecosystem in the rebuilding process, so trees will be remain as a green cover rather than enchanting natural complex ecosystem that they are to be. Okay, so because of this, it is mainly argued that planting of trees will help to store carbon, and that will be helpful for reducing of pollution for sure. But it is true that all the trees, for example invasive species, native species or non-native species, they store carbon, but other benefits were critically vary widely. They will be depend upon the species of the plants that we are going for planting in that area, and even we need to take into consideration where we are going for planting, that is location as well. So whenever we are going for selecting of a wrong plant in a wrong place, okay, wrong location, then the natural habitat of that area will going to be get altered here, right? So in this way, that will have some negative impact on local environment, and our ecosystem will become less resilient. So selecting of plants and selecting of location is also very important. So to understand this, there is one example which is given in this article. So that is regarding conversion of natural grasslands into wood areas through tree planting. So actually we went for converting of grasslands into this wooded forest. So at that time what happened, naturally the great Indian bustard which is present in that area, actually it is state bird of Rajasthan, which is a very heavy flying bird. So actually this great Indian bustard which is mainly seen in the grasslands. So whenever we are going for planting of wooded trees in these grasslands, that led to decreasing of number of this great Indian bustard. Now there are very few, like 200 individuals. So they are in a verge of extinction as well, right? So because of this, whenever we are going for planting of trees, we need to select correct plants, and even we need to go for selection of location as well, right? This is the gist of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding reintroduction of African cheetahs into India. Okay, so this article is also very important in from your environment and ecology. So here you need to locate where is this Kuno National Park is located. Actually this Kuno National Park is located in MP, and here government which is planning to reintroduce cheetah into this Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So what is the story so far? So if you see the story, the cheetah which became extinct in India after independence. So after independence, we saw there was extinction of this cheetahs in India. So now union government, that is our central government, which is mainly launching an action plan, and this plan they are mainly focusing that about 50 big cats, that is cheetahs, they will be introduced in next 5 years. Okay, so actually these African cheetahs, they are endangered species. We are going for reintroduction of these cheetahs in India. So this is the context. So if you see some details, actually we need to know whether these cheetahs they used to present in India or not. Yes, if you're talking about historical background of this Asiatic cheetahs, they are very widely seen in India, and authentic reports they mainly shows about occurrence of this cheetahs. If you're talking about north boundary, they are present till Punjab, okay, and till Tamil Nadu we can see this is the north to south boundary. And if you see east to west boundary, we can see from Gujarat and Rajasthan, and even in the West Bengal in the east. So if you see this image, you can see they used to see in Pakistan, okay, and even from here Punjab till Tamil Nadu we can see, and even from Gujarat till Bay of Bengal, the extent of these cheetahs are used to be there in the historical background, right? And most of the record of these cheetahs, they are mainly seen, okay, in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, UP, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Odisha. And if you're talking about habitat of these cheetahs, they are having a very diverse habitat. For example, they used to live in scrub forest, they used to live in dry grasslands, savannas, and even other arid and semi-arid open habitats. Okay, this is about habitat of this cheetah. So cheetah in India has been recorded in the history from before the Common Era. Okay, actually at that time we mainly focused on conservation of this black buck for centuries. So because of this, that led to decreasing of number of cheetahs, and we went for widespread capture of these cheetahs from the wild, and over centuries it also reduced the level of genetic heterogeneity. And also there was one cause of concern at that time was there is high infant mortality of these cheetahs. And if they are mainly focusing on this captive breeding also, so they are having some inability to breed in this captivity. And even at that time during our medieval period, so kings they used to go for hunting of these cheetahs as a sport, okay, and finally bounty killing. So these are some important reasons that led to extinction of these cheetahs in India. Okay, and the main goal of cheetah action plan, it is to make cheetah's performance it's functional as a top role in the top predator. So if we're talking about food chain, so we will be having producers, we will be having primary consumers, secondary consumers and top consumers or top predators. So cheetahs mainly comes under this top predators. So if there is no control of this, or if there is no this top predators are there, so the below level, okay, below level of this food chain they will be altered, right? So we need to maintain a proper balance in this food chain as well. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Covishield second dose 8 weeks after first. So this article will be important regarding health, which mainly comes under our GS paper 2. So if we are talking about context, it mainly says that the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization, which mainly recommended that second dose of Covishield can be administered from 8 to 16 weeks. Okay, second dose can be administered within 8 to 16 weeks after first dose. So actually currently we are giving the second dose from 12 to 16 weeks. Okay, and this decision which made it taken especially to reduce the time gap between the two doses, that will lead to increasing of administration of second dose of this Covishield vaccine. Especially there are about 6 to 7 crore individuals, they need to take this second dose. And if you're talking about this latest recommendation of this NTAGI, which is mainly based on recent global scientific evidence. Okay, so also when the second dose of this Covishield is given at 8 weeks onwards, then antibodies will be generated, which is very much equal to antibodies which generated when the second dose is taken between 12 to 16 weeks. Okay, and the recommendation of this NTAGI and the final decision will be taken by the government. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this NTAGI, actually it mainly established under order of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in 2001. So actually it is one of the apex body. It will be taking decision regarding immunization program, and even it will be providing some guidance for this Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and they are mainly providing some guidance regarding the provision of vaccination and even immunization services, and it mainly focuses on effective control of vaccine preventable diseases as well. Okay, and it mainly fulfills the need of informing decision making body regarding even new vaccinations, and mainly focuses on emerging needs and priorities of Government of India. Okay, and it will also providing some technical review on scientific evidence on matters as well. So these are roles and responsibilities of this body. So this is very important. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding drug trafficking, a menace to society. So this article which is mainly focusing on drug trafficking. So what happened recently, Delhi High Court has rejected a bail of a person, okay, who mainly arrested after police recovered a huge amount of contraband, okay, contraband of about 975 kgs, about a quintal of poppy straw from his godown. Okay, so actually here what happened, one person who is mainly affected, only mainly arrested actually, and he was arrested on the details regarding this poppy straw. He is mainly smuggling some drug or drug trafficking that is mainly seen. So actually this drug trafficking is one of the important problem that we are facing in India. So to understand this drug trafficking, we need to know the location of India. So here we can see Golden Crescent is there and Golden Triangle is there. So Golden Crescent and Golden Triangle, they are the areas which are mainly producing these drugs, right? So because of this, India which is mainly sandwiched between this Golden Crescent and as well as Golden Triangle. So because of this, normally drug trafficking which is mainly seen across India, so it is one of the cause of concern for the Government of India. So if you see some details regarding this recent World Drug Report 2021 of United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, so actually Afghanistan which mainly reported about 37% of increasing extent of land, and this land which is mainly used for illicit cultivation of opium poppy. Okay, and this country also accounted for about 85% of global opium production last year. So actually the most of the economy of Afghanistan which is mainly dependent on this opium cultivation. Okay, despite of improved capabilities, Afghanistan special units over the years, drug seizures arrested had a minimal impact on this opium cultivation. Okay, and Afghanistan is also turning as a major source for this methamphetamine. It is also one drug. So now let us try to understand what are the steps taken by the Government of India mainly to arrest this drug menace. So first one is Naksha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, or we are mainly focusing on Drug Free India campaign. So actually we came up with this campaign in year 2020, and this campaign is conducted across 272 districts of the country which are most vulnerable for this drug trafficking. And even Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment also began implementation of this National Action Plan for Drug Demand Reduction, that is between 2018 till 2025, and government also constituted one Narco Coordination Center in November 2016. And apart from that, government has also constituted a fund, and this fund is called as National Fund on Control of Drug Abuse, and this fund which is mainly focusing to meet the expenditure. Okay, and this expenditure will be helpful for combating of illicit traffic of narcotic drugs, and even it will be helpful for establishment of rehabilitation centers, and even it will be helpful for educating public against this drug abuse as well. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Japan hopes India will join RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. So if you see context, it mainly says that Japan has still not given up hope that India might consider the joining of this RCEP. So actually India came out of this RCEP in November 2019. So this is the thing which mainly said by senior Japanese official. So now let us try to see some facts regarding what is this RCEP. RCEP mainly stands for Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Actually it is a trade deal between normally 16 countries earlier, and India which is mainly came out of this RCEP, and now there are 15 members which are part of this RCEP. So 15 members are 10 Asian countries, okay, and apart from that we have China, Japan, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand. So these are the 15 countries which mainly came up with a trade deal now. Now India it is not a member of RCEP. India came out of this RCEP in November 2019. So what are the aims and objectives of this RCEP? To lower tariff and to open up trade in services, and it mainly focuses to promote investment to help emerging economies as well. And it is focusing on reducing the cost and the time for companies by allowing them to export a product anywhere in this bloc. And it also have focus on intellectual property rights, environmental protection and even labor rights. So you have to know why, what are the reasons behind India which mainly came out of this RCEP. So I can give you one clue here is India has some concerns here regarding services. So services which are not included in this RCEP, but India is saying that yes, services to be included. And even regarding dairy products which are coming from Australia also, it is one of cause of concern for India. So let me know what are the other reasons for India to come out of this RCEP in comment box. And if you're talking about significance, RCEP will cover about 30% of global gross domestic product, and it mainly worth about 26.2 trillion. And if you're talking about population, China is there here in, okay, and earlier India used to be there. So because of this, it is like a nearly third of world's population, they are mainly present in this regional bloc. And RCEP which mainly covers about 90% of trade tariffs as well. And RCEP also came with the establishment of common set of rules regarding trade, intellectual property, e-commerce and as well as competition. Okay, so it is mainly including about 28% of global GDP, 28% of global trade and 30% of global population. So these are some facts and figures of this RCEP, and these are the countries which are mainly part of this RCEP. So we have Asian 10 countries plus China, Japan, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand. Okay, India it is not part of that. So why India should be part of this RCEP? So why? So first one is India had a crucial role to play in helping the region, especially to build inclusive architecture, because there is increasing of global instability that is seen. So because of this regional blocks will be helpful for maintaining of stability of the countries. And next one is whenever we are having this trade pacts, so we can get the new markets, we can capture the new markets, that will help for economic revival. And besides rising of US-China tensions, they were deeply worrying the region with the pandemic resulted highlighted tensions. So for this regional blocks will be very much helpful. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see yesterday's questions. The first one, it is regarding cabinet mission proposals. So which are the not true? You have to identify incorrect statements. So first one is it recommended partition of India into India and Pakistan. It is absolutely wrong. So if you see the options where one is present, the correct option will be 1, 4 and 5. Okay. So princely states formed third tier of confederation. It is not at all correct. And under the plan which is grouping was made compulsory. It is not at all compulsory. So these three are incorrect statements and these 2 and 3 are correct statements. And the next question is regarding universal adult suffrage, equal rights for women, freedom to form unions and dissociation of state from religion in any form. Which of the following recommended? That is our Nehru report. Okay, so this is the answer for yesterday's questions. And today's question, this first one regarding this Quit India movement and second one is INA, Indian National Army. So try to read the statements and try to give me the correct option in the comment box. So before seeing today's newspaper, okay, let me announce a small thing here on this platform. So we came up with this mains answer writing practice course, which is a 1-year course in this Rathod's IAS Academy. So here we are giving you weekly syllabus, okay, weekly target. So based on that target, daily one question will be given. On Sunday, there will be case study or essay, okay, and there will be evaluation, one-to-one mentorship, and even we provide you model answer. So this course, it is going to be started. The new batch is going to be started from April. So if you are interested, so please try to arrange money and try to join this course. It is absolutely beneficial. So apart from that, we are also launching this pen drive courses for entire foundational course for 2023. And even if you want to take single module like only economy, only history, geography like that, so we can also provide you the single modules. So for the details of this courses, you can call me on this number 8074765513. You can call me on this number and you can resolve your doubts. Okay. So if you want to watch the demo videos, you can visit our website Rathod's IS Academy. There you have to register with your email ID, and then you can click on course list and you can click on play course. Then you can see 3 demo videos without paying a single penny. They are free of cost. You can watch those demo videos as well. So after watching these demo videos, and if you like the videos, then you can go for the payment. Okay. So now let us have a look over this today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So the date here is March 21st, 2022, and this is Delhi edition I am showing you, and on the screen you can see the Delhi edition of Hindu newspaper. So first article, it is regarding Covishield. I discussed this topic, and if you move further in the city page, you can see when railway tracks become death traps for commuters. Okay, so the life of the line. So actually this article, which is mainly talking about the Sabzi Mandi railway station. So if you are from Delhi, okay, if you are appearing for this UPSC, you have to focus on this railway track. And if you move forward, I discussed about this drug trafficking, a menace to society. And if you see the state newspaper, I didn't find anything which is relevant, and leave this today's state paper. Okay, and here you can see a bid to smuggle idol of 15th century foiled. So actually here you need to know about antiquities law, and you have to talk about even role of Archaeological Survey of India. So this is very important from your art and culture. And here in this article you can see African technique used to translocate deer from Keoladeo National Park, right? So here you need to focus on where is this Keoladeo National Park is located. So actually from this Keoladeo, they are mainly moving to this Mukundara Hills Tiger Reserve. So actually if you are talking about this article, which mainly says that an uncommon experiment with this Africa's Boma technique. So this article, which is mainly talking about Boma technique of Africa. And actually this technique, which is mainly used for capturing and as well as translocating of spotted deer to set to improve prey base in this Mukundara Hills Tiger Reserve. Okay, especially to improve the tiger reserve prey base, they are mainly going to translocate this spotted deers into this Mukundara Hills Tiger Reserve. Actually it is located 450 kilometers away. So the move, which mainly will lead to herbivores populating the forest, they are ahead to propose shifting of 2 tigers to this Mukundara. And if you are talking about this capturing technique, that is Boma capturing technique, which is very much popular in Africa, which mainly involves luring of animals into enclosure by chasing them. Okay, and this chasing will be happens through a funnel like fencing. So the funnel tapers into the animal selection come loading chute, which mainly supports with the grass mats and as well as green net, that will be helpful to make it opaque for animals as well. So this old technique was earlier used to capture wild elephants for training and as well as services. So this is about this topic. You can go through this topic once again, and here you have to refer about even National Tiger Conservation Authority as well. And if you come to this editorial page, the most of the articles which are regarding this Russia-Ukraine issues, and already we discussed that topic number of times. And there is one article I left today because of lack of time, because of some issues. So here you have to refer the South Asian textile story as well. So here you need to know about what are the challenges that are facing and what can be the solution, like upgrading of technology. We can provide some financial incentives especially to this textile industries. And I discussed about this economic recovery. And if you see, there is hijab issue, which is once again in news, so you can see that topic. And I discussed about this biodiversity topic. And if you move further, there is text and context. I discussed about this reintroduction of cheetahs into India. And if you move further into this newspaper page of page number 10, I discussed about this RCEP. And you can read about this Quad has accepted Indian stand here. So this is according to regarding to this Russia-Ukraine crisis, whatever the India stand is there, Quad mainly accepted this stand. Okay, you have to refer some facts regarding this Quad. And if you move further, you can see some article like Island brace for cyclone, ship services suspended. So actually it is talking about the cyclone Asani. Okay, cyclone Asani. So people living in the coastal areas of this Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they were evacuated safely as archipelago experienced a heavy rain and as well as strong winds because of this cyclone Asani. Okay, you have to remember this cyclone Asani, and you have to revise cyclone topic in your NCERT of your geography class 11th. And next topic is regarding India hopes to put down roots in Arctic. So this article, it is very important. Actually, the image which is mainly showing about Himadri, it is one of the Indian research station in Arctic. So actually India, which is mainly aspiring to have permanent presence with more research and satellite ground station in this Arctic region. Okay, actually as of now we are having only single station, that is Himadri. Okay, Himadri in this Svalbard, a Norwegian archipelago. So we are mainly focusing to improve our presence. We can come up with more satellite grounds and as well as research centers. So this is about this topic. Actually India having some observer status, okay, observer member status. So actually 8 nations, that is Canada, Denmark, Finland, Norway, Iceland, Russia, Sweden and US, they make up this Arctic Council, but India, which is mainly having the observer nation. So this will be one important prelims fact. So Arctic weather influence, which is very important, and we need to study this Arctic weather influence because it will be also have some impact on our Indian monsoon as well, right? So whenever there is climate change is happening and melting of ice caps is happening, that will be also having some changes in the Arctic weather. Okay, so because of this we are also focusing on studying of this Arctic weather. So this is about this topic. And if you move further, okay, there are nothing much important in your world paper and even in the economy money wise also. So these are some important articles that appear in today's newspaper. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS and don't forget to like, comment and share my videos. Thank you so much.